Hello and welcome everyone to this week's review. As always, I want to thank everyone who watched last week's video, and a special thanks to all those who liked and commented. Before I get started this week, I need to say that I'm joined by a special guest, my lovely, amazing, and all-around perfect girlfriend, Miss Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie.
So, on to this week's review, which is...
How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World.
That it is. And one of the reasons why I brought Katie on this week is because she is a huge fan of the How to Train Your Dragon universe, I guess, because it's not just movies. It's actually, how many shows is it?
I think 4 or 5.
4 or 5 different shows that I've never really watched, and you've watched them all, so
yeah.
That's why we have her on this week. So, without further ado, let's get started with the review. How to Train Your Dragon was written and directed by Dean DuBois and stars Jay Baruchel, America Ferrera, and F. Murray Abraham. The film is the epic conclusion of the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy and follows Hiccup as he discovers that Toothless isn't the last Night Fury and must seek out the Hidden World, a secret dragon utopia, before a hired tyrant named Grimmel finds them first. So I'm going to let Katie give her thoughts first. Just your initial thoughts of the movie overall.
Okay, it is an amazing movie. Everyone should go see it, and no one's allowed to not like it.
I agree with most of that. I love this movie. I thought it was a perfect conclusion for the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy. And honestly, I think this third movie, I think it might make this trilogy one of the best trilogies in cinematic history.
Correction, it is the best.
But other things you loved, like what else did you love about this movie?
So, the first thing you notice is how amazing the animation style is. You can see every single detail on a human being's face. It's incredible what they did with the animation.
It is, and even we watched the first 2 How to Train Your Dragons in the weeks leading up to this one. And while the animation is still impressive on those 2, they stepped it up and went above and beyond with this one. Especially the segments during the Hidden World. Some of those colors and the shots there are honestly breathtaking. Something else that's really great about this movie are the characters. Now, it's the same characters we've been following through all 3 movies, so they're all well developed enough, but they're all given something to do and they all have their moment to shine.
Yeah, they don't kind of muddy it up with trying to give every single one of the minor characters a different arc. It is really a story about Hiccup and Toothless, and you could throw Astrid in there. She's a pretty big character in this movie, but it's mostly Hiccup and Toothless.
Something else with the side characters, a lot of what they do, a lot of the conversations they have are hilarious. Not necessarily like jokes, but the setup they have for the conversations just lends itself to a lot of comedy, especially Rough Nut and Tough Nut.
And what I like about that too is that it's not a surprise. These characters aren't solely comic relief, especially if you've seen the TV show. They have depth and they have their own personalities, and they're not just there to tell the jokes, but when they do tell the jokes, they're really funny.
And like you said, they have personalities, and that's where I think a lot of the jokes come from, is their personalities. It's not just them telling one-liners or saying funny things. It's letting the personality shine and bounce off each other that really creates the comedy. Also, Toothless in this is as adorable and funny and fierce as ever. He is still, I think, probably my favorite character.
Yeah, same. And if you have a dog, you'll probably see some of your dog in Toothless.
So that's a lot of good, and there's, most of the film is amazing. There is one thing that I had an issue with, and it's not even an issue, it's more of a nitpick, but I think they missed some opportunity in not giving the villain more backstory. They gave him a little bit of backstory, basically like one sentence claiming that he was the one that drove the Night Fury species to near extinction, but we don't get to see that. We don't see how that really affected his life or anything, so I think that was simply a missed opportunity. I will say, however, while they don't give a lot of backstory to Grimmel, the main villain, he's really fun to watch. He's got a really fun personality.
Yeah, I agree with that he's fun to watch. I do not agree with that he's not given a backstory. I think the backstory he's given is fine enough. I guess everyone knows his kind of story. He wants to kill the Night Furies, and it is a kid's movie. One thing people have said is that they want to see him actually kill a Night Fury in a flashback scene, but I don't think in a kid's movie that would work out too great.
That's a good point. It is still a kid's movie, and it's hard to remember remember that it's a kids movie sometimes because they do tackle some major issues of loss, of love, and friendship, and just a bunch of stuff that really is as important for kids as it is for adults.
There is something that did catch me off guard, and I'm not going to say it's a bad thing, but it did catch me off guard, and that was just the plot of the movie. Like, you kind of, based on the trailers, you think you know where it's going, and then it starts and you're like, they just threw me into this movie, but then 2 seconds later you're like, oh my god, this is amazing.
So now it's time for the grades. What grade?
No, you go first.
Okay, I go first. So, like I said, pretty much everything about this movie is amazing. The characters, the visuals, the story. The villain is a little less developed than I wanted, but overall it is an amazing, awesome movie that I can't recommend highly enough, especially if you enjoyed the first 2 films. So I would definitely give this an A.
And he's wrong, it is an A++.
That's it for here. That's it for us at DS Reviews. Let me know what you thought of the video, what you thought of the movie, and what you think of this drawing. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and click that bell notification button to be notified anytime I put up a new video. Thanks everyone.
Bye.
And have a great day.